Hi Leo, welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading for June 3rd, 2023. Full moons close out cycles, so this is a 2-week period where we're going to close out something, and the theme for your 2 weeks is the Judgment card. This card gives you a yes answer, just saying. Don't know if you need one or not. On the card it says freedom, rebirth, fresh start, renewal, and life purpose. For me, this is really a big wake-up call kind of card. It's the clarion call. It is something that happens that reinvigorates you, reawakens you. You can have a better idea of where you belong in this world, or what your purpose is, or your passion. It's like a second chance kind of energy, and blocks and fences and borders are kind of taken down, and there's just this very renewed energy. So I could see why it would give you a yes answer if you're looking for one. But let's see, that's your theme. Let's see how that plays out for you for the next 2 weeks. Let's see what is being closed out. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords. You may be doing some detective work, and that may be finishing up here. This is somebody who wants to clear the clouds from their minds, and so they look for answers. They are active seekers. This is my Taurus card, by the way. So you could be working with the Taurus, but since it's air, there can be also air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. All right, let's see what this person is doing in your world. Nine of Wands. Okay. The Nine of Wands is a bit of a defensive energy. These are all of his experiences, right? Everything he's been through. We're at 9 right now, so it's the end of a cycle. We're maybe taking stock in what has gone on prior and trying to understand it with the Page of Swords. This is often called my Walking Wounded card. He's been through a battle, and he has the scars to prove it. But he's persevered, and he's gotten to the end of the situation. And it is very often for this card, for me in any case, that we're right on the precipice of what we have worked really long and hard for. And so if you had some questions, or you were doing some detective work, trying to figure things out, trying to clear the questions in your mind, you could be very much these next 2 weeks closing that phase out. You're getting the answers. You're understanding the situation. This could be where passions are concerned, because the Nine of Wands are passions. It's the energy that gets us up and out of bed and motivated. It's initiative. Sorry, I dropped some cards. But it is definitely the end of a cycle, so that kind of goes along with the idea of the end of a something that we worked hard for, and that's being closed out now. The Judgment card in relation to this, though, is that we can be making some judgments on what has happened in the last 2 weeks or prior. That doesn't have to be 2 weeks, because I don't know how long this particular cycle has been running for you, but it is closing out now. It seems to me like you're getting your answers. It may have come the hard way, but the Judgment card is saying you're hearing the answers, you're getting the information that you've been searching and seeking for. And you're clearing up those things in your head that you maybe had some doubts about or needed more information on. You're behaving as the Ace of Wands. That's really nice. That is a new passion. So you're at the end of one cycle and ready to begin something new, or taking it to the next level, because we're still on our passion here with the Ace of Wands. We're still in that initiative phase, what we are initiating, what we're getting started, but there's still that fiery energy, that passion inside that motivates you. Four of Pentacles. So we are trying to firm up our foundations. This is having everything you need. This is the Sun in Capricorn. It's having everything you need for those strong foundations. But there is this feeling of holding on to something. Now, if you need money and you're holding on to it to create those strong foundations, fine. But if you're holding on to something out of fear or failure, that's a little less fine, I would say, but understandably so, especially in this climate. So for me, it feels more like there's a new beginning here, a new, fresh energy coming in that you want to be prepared for. And I say that because the Nine of Wands comes prior to this Four of Pentacles, and you know, you've been there, you've seen it, and with that Page of Swords, you understand it a lot better now that you've been through the cycle, and now you can begin this next cycle on firmer footing, on a stronger foundation. And I think even if somebody tried to push you in another direction, you wouldn't go. You're standing firm. Or sitting. Okay, so you have as the outcome a Page of Cups. So you're flanked by two pages. And when this happens to me in a reading, I'm told to just concentrate on this. They're like bookends, and it's holding up this particular thing. So I will tell you that the Page of Cups is a Piscean card. It's an expansive card, and it can involve somebody young. But I really do want to zero in on that Ace of Wands. For me, it's really like tunnel vision, this new beginning. And because it is new, the pages flank it on either side. It's new. It's something young and fresh. Now, this could even be a passion towards somebody else. You could have been, I don't want to say spying, but spying or looking at social media, looking at their situation, finding out what their deal is. And maybe you held yourself back from approaching this person. That's possible here for some people. It's a general reading because this is very passionate. But again, you've been through the ringer, so you're not willing to extend yourself, or this person has been through the ringer and they're not willing to extend themselves. That's also very possible here. The Page of Cups has insecurities, but it's a sweet card, and they're usually kind people. But everybody has two sides, right? There is this expansive energy with the Page of Cups, and this is more like expanding our mind, our way of thinking and being, and even our spirit, right? We want to expand our emotions. Emperor. Interesting. This is authority figures. This can be a father type person, so these may be your children. If you are the authority figure in your house, male or female, it doesn't matter. It's a force. The Emperor is a force. It's an energy. And this is a take charge kind of person. It's associated for me with Aries, and this is also somebody who sits on a block, right? He sits in square, and so these are kind of established people. established authorities, established energies, establishment, but also more like established rules and regulations. That's the emperor. He can either rule with an iron fist, or he can make rules for the good of everyone involved. Let's find out some more information here. We'll get some clarification. So you yourself may be the parent who has to kind of set down some laws and over some situations where young people are concerned. So you could be a teacher, or you could be a parent, or a principal with the emperor. Okay, so you have the moon here, yeah. So things that are foggy, things that weren't clear, we had to take the time to go through and experience something to get that clarity, to understand it completely. And that way we can indeed move on to a new cycle, more informed, well informed, all those things that were kind of foggy and we didn't quite understand. This is also a Pisces card, or associated with Pisces. So this character, right, our Page of Swords, is the one who's sweeping away any insecurities, any doubts, any questions that we may have had. And I think this is going to be a fairly impressive moon for you, since it's showing up in your reading. But these are fears that are somewhat unfounded, because the dogs bark at the moon. There's nothing scary about the moon. They just don't understand it. So there was something that was not understood. But we've gone through, like I said, we've gone through the experience, and now we understand it. And now we can begin again on a new foot, on higher ground, and more of a solid foundation. And I think part of that for you might be holding on to finances, maybe not being so free with your financial situation, where that Four of Pentacles is, but it is holding on tight, that's for sure. And it can leave us feeling a little bit uncomfortable. It can be an uncomfortable position that we're in. And maybe that's an uncomfortable financial position for some. However, you have the Nine of Pentacles there. So it's very possible that what you are building is headed towards great financial success with that Nine of Pentacles. And it could also be that you are building inheritance for children, for the youth, for your particular children, or for a group, because the Emperor is authority, and that can be more than father. It can be bosses, CEOs, principals, that sort of thing. And so youth, children seem to come into this. So if you are a parent, you may be trying to build up an inheritance for your children, or maybe purchase property for future use for children, which doesn't mean that you won't use it now, but eventually you would like to hand that off or give it to your children. This is the inheritance card, that's why I'm saying that. But it's also wanting to, or the appreciation of skilled work, artisan products. Maybe somebody is a creator, and the Emperor is collecting all these artisan people that can make beautiful things for their shop, or you're one of them that offers your ideas and your passions, and are looking for a place for what you find passionate, for your products. But the nice thing is that we're moving from a 4 to a 9. So where you had to hold on to something, you have, maybe even in just these 2 weeks, or up until these 2 weeks, you've scrimped and saved, and now you have enough with that Nine of Pentacles. Or it could just be where you want to go with this new idea. Now, the Emperor is an authority. He has been through this as well and knows what he's talking about. So the Nine of Pentacles can be also that you have built upon this idea, and it's just, I want to say it's taking steps forward, and every time it's a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Whatever that means for you. Excuse me. All right, let's get another card for the, okay, you have a King of Swords. This can be the law, it can be legal matters, it is my Libra card, it is somebody who is very fair. They're fair and rational, but they're very opinionated as well. They're people who need to see the facts and figures. They would think that the Page of Cups is silly. Because the Page of Cups would be interested in the mysteries, and the King of Swords wants facts and figures. The law, right? Now, when you're looking at the Emperor and you're looking at the King of Swords, these can be manager type of people, accountants, lawyers, mediators. So if someone is getting a divorce, there can be the need for a mediator. What do I hold on to? What do I give, right? Or what what does she get? What does he get? Kind of energy. Who gets the children? And for how long? That kind of energy. But there's definitely a new path being taken here. And this can also reflect the Page of Swords, who has now matured enough to handle a situation where they have more authority. And that makes sense here, because if there were things that you were trying to learn through the Nine of Wands, you've had the experience, you understand it with the Page of Swords, there's no more doubt, you can then graduate to the King of Swords, right? You have all that information, you've had the experience, and now you can be the lawyer, the cop, the judge, somebody in authority who understands things completely. But this can also be somebody else in authority. I do want to get one more for that. So the air signs are going to have sharp features. They can have like sharpness in their eyes. They can have a pointy nose or a pointy chin. They could usually be very thin and lanky, but they don't have to be. And especially this, because this is a Taurus card, and Tauruses, I mean, even his stature, he's got a good upper body build. So it doesn't have to be, but there is something pointy in them then, something sharp. A sharp mind, certainly, very rational, definitely, but physically there can be a sharpness in the nose, in the chin. The fingers can be very long and sharp. Maybe they have nails that are sharp. There's a sharpness to them. And also maybe a bit of a refinement. That's usually in the females, but Page of Swords can be a bit of a dandy. He can dress nice, as can the King of Swords, but they're usually in a suit or a uniform. But it still looks sharp. Whereas the Page of Cups are round in features. The eyes can kind of dip at the sides, so a little downturn by the side of the eye. And there's more of a roundness to the chin, the hands, the forehead. Even the eyes can be a more almond shape. So that should give you a clue as to who we're talking about and dealing with. And like I said, I wanted to pull one more for here. Ooh, Five of Swords. I maybe shouldn't have done that. Oh, this can be a no-win situation. So if this is legal, you may get what you want, but not the way you wanted when the Five of Swords appears. And there is some sort of, I think humiliation is a harsh word, but that's what the card means. And so if you win, it's not a full victory because someone you love or care for or admire or have respect for loses out. And so this card is asking you to kind of leave the ego at the door, if possible, here. Okay. I think there's some win, some lose. The way you're seeing it here, it looks very positive. And if this is a divorce of some sort, then it seems to me like it's the child that loses the most. And so you want to be careful of that. You know, they always say it's the children that suffer the most. But with that Five of Swords, it's quite, it can be hurtful, very painful. And the Page of Cups is a very soft soul. All right, so what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, you have the Beyond. This deck has extra cards in it, and the Beyond is the soul, a higher being, your belief, doubt or mistrust, and apathy. So I find that interesting, and I think it goes well with the entire reading because we have a bit of both. And this can be mistrust, right? Or doubt. But the bad thing is that it's acted upon. We act upon that doubt or mistrust. We act upon it. And if you can avoid that, it's very possible that you can avoid the Five of Swords, that humiliation or the drama that's being played out. And you're being asked to, especially with the Page of Cups, you're being asked to touch your soul. To understand your belief system, and even sometimes to call upon the higher, which would be, in my opinion, your higher self, your soul, because that is attached to everything else that's good. Okay, it's a mixed bag. I would say definitely be careful where the Five of Swords is concerned, meaning your words have impact, or someone's words have impact. So they always say with that card, check the ego at the door. All right. Good luck, but I think you have some here because this is still very positive for me. All right. Take good care. Thanks for listening. I hope it's been helpful. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading, and I do dailies. Bye, and thanks for listening. It's appreciated.